Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is that time again, Thursday night. So welcome back to the Big Three DFS College Show. Now, I understand. Absolutely. I understand it is the Big Three, and there's only two. That's fine. Me, Nicky Rodriguez, kicking it this week. What's up, Kit?
How's it going today? Crazy storylines here today we'll get to.
That is correct. I just want to say Casey Carruthers will not be joining us this week. Got a prior obligation he's got to go to. So, much thanks to him for coming on last week and all his great insight. Adam Wags is down in the ATX at a bar watching his Giants today too. So we might even get a drop in from him today. But yeah, enough about those people. Let's talk about Lane Kiffin banging Nick Saban's daughter because I think that's what everybody wants to talk about. I mean, hell, that's what I want to talk about. So the big story comes out today. Now, there's a couple rumors out there. One is that Kiffin was banging Saban's daughter, which is tremendous. That's awesome on every level imaginable. If you haven't seen a picture of her, just Google her name or just Google Lane Kiffin. You know, the two of them kind of, or actually all three of them kind of pop up synonymously. You'll have like Lane Kiffin in between Saban and his daughter. Now, there was also a rumor that Kiffin was banging a Alabama booster who I guess was married as well. And the other rumor, too, was that, Kiffin might take over the job at Illinois. I'm sorry, I got some ashes going. I want to believe the first two because if he's taking over a different program, it's like, okay, great. Now we can't talk about those banging stories. I want to talk about these banging stories. That's what everybody wants to talk about. It was the number one trending topic on Twitter today.
You know what? I've been thinking about this all day, and I've come up with a conclusion.
Okay.
So my conclusion is they offered him a job at Illinois.
Okay.
So when he found that out, he went to go bang Nick Saban's daughter.
Okay.
And the booster.
Oh.
So I think it's all three. It's all three.
A little menage a trois was going on here.
Yes.
I'm not going to put that past him. I mean, this is Lane Kiffin. I mean, look, he's a handsome-looking dude, all right? I mean, if anybody could pull off the old coach's daughter booster threesome, it is Lane Kiffin. I mean, he probably has more capabilities of doing this than anybody in all of college football. And,
Definitely.
Oh, man, I know you had a pretty damn good dinner tonight. You went to the Cheesecake Factory.
Definitely. I brought you that key lime pie you asked for.
All right. Thank you very much.
Key lime cheesecake.
Let's get that FedEx sent, day one, because I don't want any mold going on through the mail.
All right. Overnight shipping.
But you inspire me. I made myself a delicious meal this evening. Giant rigatoni pasta with vodka sauce and chicken. Chefed it up big time, man.
You're sending that over here as well?
I could. I mean, there's only like a little bowl, like a cereal bowl-sized portion left, so.
I'll take what I can get then. Hence
all the indigestion and reflux I got going on. We got a lot to break down today for college football. It's going to be a damn good slate this weekend. FanDuel and DraftKings are doing something weird. They have a little it's like a Pac-12 only conference going on, or a Pac-12 conference only contest going on. So definitely check that out. That'll be interesting. A lot of the Pac-12 matchups going on this weekend are pretty great. Arizona, UCLA, USC, Arizona State, just to name a couple. But, it all starts tomorrow night because we have that Oregon State and Stanford game going on tomorrow night. So if you want to get into that, make sure you have your lineups ready by tomorrow night. Or else you're going to miss the boat on this. And, that's your own damn fault. I just told you right now, so you need to have it.
Are you going to be putting a lineup in there?
Not in the Pac-12, not in the Pac-12 only type deal. I have one in right now for the Thursday, Friday slate. I'm a little upset because, Memphis is spreading the ball around, and they're not spreading the ball around to the guy that I have. I got myself some Paxton in this game, so that's okay. But this is kind of a crazy game. I mean, Gunnar Kiel, he absolutely got his mind blown out. He took a shoulder right to the face. And dropped down the yeah, he got knocked out pretty good, but early signs that he's moving all his extremities, the arms, the fingers, the toes, they're all wiggling and wobbling. So he's good. He's back with us in civilization.
Wow, I definitely got to watch the replay on that tomorrow. That is crazy.
He got absolutely smoked. Now they called it initially that the guy was going to get ejected, but they did the review and shoulder right to the, I don't know, shoulder, chest, I don't know.
So he didn't get flagged for it?
No, I think he might have, but he didn't get ejected.
Okay.
I don't know.
Definitely gotta watch that.
This is kind of when I was making the dinner, so it's kind of like a hit and run all over the joint.
Okay.
All right, let's bring it off to Saturday. As always, quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end positions. We're going to be breaking down a lock, a sleeper, and a wild card for you. Even in some instances, I'm going to have a couple. I might even throw, since it's only the two of us, I might just be throwing names out of the barrel this week.
Hey, go for it. I have no problem with that.
All right. All right, so I'll start it off with quarterbacks. If we're talking about locks, I'm going to get right off the bat with multiple picks. I'm going to go with two quarterbacks, and they're both in the same game, in this TCU-Texas game. If you don't have any, any players from this game, I seriously wonder what's going on in your head, because this is probably going to be the most fun game on the entire slate of the day, and that's saying a lot because we have a lot of great matchups out there. I'm talking about Trevon Boykin at 10,300 on DraftKings, Pat Mahomes 8,900 on DraftKings. The two of these teams, they're going to light it up. We got a total of 80.5 for this one. I believe TCU is, they're supposed to score just over 40 points, with Texas being just under. Both of these sides, they both have the weapons that we're looking for. Texas Tech, had that huge win against Arkansas last week. We're going to be looking for them to, build off of that and, really, they're going to have the crowd behind them. This is Texas football. This is what Texas does, baby. Texas toast and football, all right? This is going to be a serious game going on this week. Back and forth with Boykin and Mahomes. We'll get to the weapons that each of these guys have later on. But if we're going to have a lock at quarterback, I would say more so I'd probably go with Mahomes because he's 1,400 cheaper. So I have a feeling they're going to have somewhat similar numbers in this one. So I can't argue with Trevon Boykin, though. I mean, this guy could be the top play of the day when it's all said and done.
Definitely. I can't argue with that. Those two guys look great. But the real question is, who's going to win this game?
Oh, my God. You want to say that Texas Tech being at home has a great shot, but, TCU is kind of, they're kind of lying around in the weeds. We're waiting for them to have that big game. Boykin really hasn't had that Heisman-type game yet. I think this is the time that it happens. And, you know how the public is. Texas Tech had that big upset last week. Maybe they shot their load, last week, and they don't have enough left in the tank for this one. But if we're going outright, I'm going TCU. Do they cover the spread? Sure, why not? They do it at 7. They're favored by 6.
Okay. I'm definitely going to watch this game. This is going to be a great game.
It's going to be unbelievable. I'm canceling all social plans for Saturday so I can watch them.
I'm going to be watching this game while eating Texas toast. There is nothing better than Texas toast and Texas football.
Texas toast is delicious. You ever have a sandwich on Texas toast?
A sandwich? No.
Oh, my God, dude. You got to get like a roast beef sandwich on Texas toast. It's pretty damn good. And like get some mozzarella cheese on there.
Oh.
Yeah. Pick one up.
I was full, but I'm getting hungry again.
Pick one up. Thank me later. All right?
I'll let you know how that is. That does sound delicious.
Who you got for lock at QB?
Lock at QB. I'm kind of being a homer here. Got to go with my favorite team, Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
Brandon Doughty. They're going to be playing at home against Miami, Ohio. Doughty has looked good. They're going to throw the ball. He's thrown for over 400 yards in his last 2 games. And this guy's an animal. Can explode. I think he's at a good price, 9,600. It's a little expensive, but I think it's definitely going to be worth it, especially if you like paying up the quarterbacks.
What time is that Western Kentucky game?
This is in the early slate. It is at
3:30. 3:30. I see.
Yes.
I guess they're not on DraftKings.
Really?
It doesn't look like it. I mean, going up against Miami of Ohio, so they probably they said, hey, screw these guys, right?
Where's Ohio again?
Miami of Ohio.
Exactly. That's near Cleveland, so that's probably why.
The place is a dump.
It's a dump.
It's a dump. Yeah. I mean, listen, Daddy. I think he's got potential to potentially be sitting there with all those finely dressed gentlemen in New York at the end of the year. Hey, the red grimaces, baby. Let's get it going.
I love that mascot.
I'm a little upset now. I mean, because I was just going, when I look at all these guys, I look at it off the slate, and I don't see him here on DraftKings. So, I'm kind of indifferent now. I'm like, what the hell? I can't even pick my boy Higbee kicking ass this year.
You might have to jump on a FanDuel slate here just so you can pick them up.
I don't know about all that. Let's not get crazy. I'm a little upset with FanDuel after baseball. I mean, it has nothing to do with them. It's just, baseball kind of upset me the other night. I got 2 locks at quarterback for the late night slate. Kyle Allen, Texas A&M, 7,700 at Arkansas, and also Cody Kessler, 8,700 at Arizona State. This is for the late slate only, but 2 of these guys both going to be involved in some high, heavy octane offense in this one. More so, I'd probably lean towards Kessler. Just that game, Arizona State has the offense to complement theirs, go back and forth. So I see a lot more touchdowns, a lot more volume. One of Cody Kessler's weapons that he's got in this game, I'm sure everybody knows who I'm talking about. But we will get to him later on in the show. But I have him as a lock at wide receiver this week. So stay tuned.
Definitely got to stay tuned for that.
That's what we in the industry, that's what we call a little teaser.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What is it again? A little teaser?
Little teaser. All right. Any sleepers for the quarterback position?
Quarterback position, my computer froze right now. So
right.
I think you should start it off.
All right, we can do that. If we're going with sleepers, now this is a deep sleeper right here.
Wild card play?
Dreyfus Jackson. He is the Rice quarterback. He's listed at 5,600 here. Only reason that we're going with my boy Dreyfus, however you want to call it. 5,600, as I mentioned. They're going up against Baylor. That means you're going to get a little bit of offense here in the action. Oh my God, I'm getting the indigestion here, going big time. If you look at the guy's game log, guess what? Rice hasn't really played too many great opponents. They did play Texas. That's the one game that he struggled. The other 2 that he faced were Wagner and North Texas. Both of those he had over 20 points. Last week at North Texas, 29-39, 373, 3 touchdowns. Here's a guy that, look, Baylor's going to score. We know this, so
yes.
Basically 2 plays, boom, done. Now Rice is going to get the ball back. For 5,600, the guy's already had 2 20-plus point games, so why the hell not? We've seen Baylor's defense this year. They're not good at all. SMU kind of took it to him a little bit. A couple other guys went at him this year. I'm not scared of this Baylor defense, but for 5,600, that you're going to be getting the ball. They're going to be throwing. There's no other conceivable opportunity of what they're going to do. Like this, they're going against Baylor. They're going to throw, baby. We know this.
Yeah.
So the opposing quarterback for 5,600, just give it to me.
I'll give it to you.
All right.
Especially on DraftKings.
Yeah, I did. Any price check? Well, you know what? On FanDuel, I don't think you need to take that risk. You got plenty of
that's a DraftKings type of
going
risk.
that way. But yeah, as a QB2, match him up with Mahomes. We could be seeing some fireworks at the QB position.
Definitely. A sleeper here. This guy was a Heisman watch list early in the year. He has slipped down, but Connor Cook, he's priced at 7,600 on FanDuel, which is very cheap for someone who was on the Heisman watch list in the preseason. This guy's going to be playing at home against Central Michigan, which is a good thing but a bad thing because it's a weak opponent. But he could be off on the field by halftime. That's the only concern. Last week against Air Force, it was a situation like that, but he threw for 4 touchdowns, which got him 25 FanDuel points. So on a DraftKings, I don't know what's his price on DraftKings.
DraftKings 8,200.
8,200. Yeah, he's at a good price. He's definitely got the matchup. It's just how long he's gonna play. But I definitely like him.
All right. I'm definitely not going that route just because of who they're playing in this one. It could get ugly. They have amazing weapons at Michigan State. Maybe I'll take a crack at a Josiah Price or a Burbridge or something like that. But for Connor Cook, it's a little too rich for my blood on DK. I think we got a couple other options we can take a look at.
Definitely. He looks nicer on FanDuel just because he's cheaper.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Any other sleepers at quarterback for you?
Sleepers, no. This week I actually like a lot of the expensive guys for some reason. Weird week for me.
Yeah, I feel like
Kyle Allen's playing, Cody Kessler. These are going to be high-scoring, intense games. Dak Prescott. I don't know. I might pay up for quarterback this week.
I feel like in the early slate there is a lot of opportunity for value, but I feel like late at night, you need some stud hammer out time.
Definitely, especially with all these intense games like Mississippi State, Auburn, Texas A&M, Arkansas. These are all great games. Great Saturday night games.
What did I just say? Stud hammer out time? Stud hammer out time? Okay. Sounds good to me. Skylar Howard.
I didn't say anything.
No, but you looked like you were saying something. Skylar Howard, 6,800, West Virginia, just as a sleeper play. DK. I have nothing great to say about the guy, but it's a pretty decent price against a pretty shitty opponent. So we can go with that. My wild card play at quarterback. Now, this is interesting because you're going to have to pay attention to the injury report. John Wolford, he's usually the starting quarterback. He's injured right now. Not sure if he's going to go. He's 5,400 on DraftKings. I had him a couple weeks ago against Syracuse. Did very well for me. He's a guy that I would recommend playing. I don't know this week, but we'll take a look at the injury report on Saturday. I'll be tweeting about it. We'll be talking about it for sure. If he doesn't go, Kendall Hinton. Now this is interesting. Maybe this is a little foreshadowing, but Kendall Hinton is his backup. He is $6,000 on DraftKings, and he's more money than the actual starter right now. Now he came in last week for Wolford. They are playing Indiana, who is god awful on defense. They're basically 11 orange parking cones out there. I think if Hinton goes, you might want to lock and load him there on DraftKings. Not sure what the price is on FanDuel. FanDuel one quarterback. I think I'd take much more of a safer option. But Hinton as a QB2, $6,000, going against the worst defense in all of college football. Give it to me again. Give me some more.
I'll give it to you. Hey, you like a lot of quarterbacks this week.
Well, there's different options at different times. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Especially with that DraftKings, that 2 quarterback thing, you definitely have to consider it.
See, in baseball, that shit is for the birds, all right? But, when you get 2 quarterbacks in college football, you start looking like Mr. Burns in The Simpsons. Like, excellent. So, I like it. I like it. And also, we'll just stick with that for wild card. But
I got a wild card here. This is definitely a wild card. Austin Appleby out of Purdue.
Okay.
He will be going up against Bowling Green at home, which is always a plus for quarterbacks. This is more of a contrarian play. Tongue twister for me. He had a terrible week last week against Virginia Tech. 9 for 28, 110 yards, only 7.5 points. I say he has a heck of a game this week. Bounce back. He's going to be at home against Bowling Green. 8,100 on FanDuel. Give it to me.
Yeah, give it. You got it, brother.
GPP right here.
You got it. Hey, I'm taking a look at my projections for this week, and Dowdy is among the top quarterbacks this week. So I just wanted you to know that.
Hey, I love that guy. Western Kentucky,
And,
I'm moving there.
yeah. And also, Boykin is projected to be the number 1 quarterback this week, and Patrick Mahomes is projected to be the 4th best quarterback this week. So
Interesting.
keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, let's bang it over to the running back position. Tons of talent here. I always feel like this is the position that you should spend up on in college fantasy. I'm going to take a little bit of a 180 on him this week. I like going a little more value play this week because I think that there is some great value there. Not only great value, but great value to have, like a number 1 price running back type of day. And I will start it with Chris Carson, Oklahoma State, 5,400 on DraftKings. They're going up against a very woeful Texas defense. Listen, this is a team on the road teams. In order to get in the mix, they got to run the ball. Carson, he's the former Georgia transfer, now at Oklahoma State. He's had some pretty good games lately. He's been having to fend off the backup for, a couple carries here and there. But guess what? Lately, it's been the Carson show. No pun intended to Johnny. He finally had his first 100-yard game of the season last year. Got 26.8 on DK last week against Texas San Antonio. Again, as most of these picks usually are, this has more to do with the opponent that Oklahoma State's going up against this week. Texas, they just got absolutely their hearts shattered last week at home against Cal. Look for that to carry over, and look for Chris Carson to be the Undertaker.
Really?
Yeah, driving him into the ground. Why not?
You know what? I'm sold on Chris Carson. He did have a good week last week.
He did.
104 yards. Just reached that 100-yard mark. I say he hits 105.
Oh, whoa. Nick. Oh, hold on. You can't get that crazy like that on the people. That's too much.
105.
That's too much. Again, this is not even my lock of the week, but
safe pick, we can say.
It's a sleeper. I'll get into some high value guys later. Who you like at running back?
Can I say the obvious lock here?
Could do it.
It's not Elliott. Elliott is a great play, but Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
Let's give it to him for last week's performance. That guy put on a show. Did you see his highlights?
I sure did.
Unbelievable.
My favorite was the Auburn guy trying to jump, tackle at his head, and he basically just missed. And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of a child trying to jump onto his father's neck to get a piggyback ride and just missing. And he's like, "Mom, I fell." That's what that looked like. But
I felt like it was a 14-year-old playing in an 8 and under league. To tell you the truth, he was unbelievable. 19 carries, 228 yards, 3 touchdowns. He will be on the road this week against Syracuse. I feel bad for Syracuse.
Yeah,
there's no game plan that can stop him.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was looking at this earlier, and I was like, wait, this can't be LSU against Syracuse. I don't know why LSU is playing Syracuse. I don't know why LSU asked to play Syracuse, and I don't know why Syracuse agreed to play LSU. Because it's I don't know. I see a lot of Syracuse around here just, because I'm in that, territory. But Jesus, this is going to be one of the biggest ass kickings of all time. It's not going to be good for the program. It's not going to be good for either pro. It's not going to be good for anybody. Fournette will probably just get his carries and probably bounce out of town. But I don't know. I mean, I could see Fournette having 5 carries for 213 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He's definitely getting in the end zone. Definitely.
If he doesn't get in the end zone, I'll get a rainbow tattoo on my forehead.
Oh, we have that on record.
Yeah, I'm that.
Better hope he doesn't get hurt.
Leonard Fournette has been suspended for drugs in the locker room. Like, I could see that happening, but no, he's gonna get in the end zone. It's just a matter of, or how long are they going to keep him in for? Syracuse has nothing for Leonard Fournette, and yeah, look, the price tag is quite high for a running back there at 9,700. So if you want to take that risk and go that high, I can't blame you, but you're going to cripple the rest of your lineup if you do that.
He is actually very affordable on FanDuel, 8,700.
Okay.
So he's right there with all the other running backs.
Okay.
And he's lower than Elliott. So FanDuel, he's definitely a great play.
All right. Yeah, I can see that. Again, I don't think it's a bad play. That's just a lot of money for a running back, and we got value elsewhere. So,
yeah, I think it's more of a FanDuel play, just because of the price.
Like, if you want to throw Dreyfus Jackson in there, we could do that and then go with Fournette. But
hey, that could work too.
It could. It definitely could. All right, if we're gonna be talking about running backs still, another sleeper that I like. Oh boy, Giants picked off Cousins again. Wendell Smallwood out of West Virginia. He's another guy that's kind of been, dibbling and dabbling with a bit of a timeshare, but he is the main back there. 4,900 on DraftKings, going up against Maryland this week. They're at home. This is kind of the situation that you look at, where it looks like West Virginia is going to put a nice ass kicking on them. We'll just have a lot of running going on here. West Virginia is a 16-point favorite. Over under 56.5, not too telling one way or the other, but I like West Virginia to really hang some on Maryland this week, and Smallwood at 4,900, and he's been having 20-point games as a running back, so for you're just below the 5,000 mark. Throw this guy in the mix and just watch him dangle it out there. The guy catches passes too. That's a huge thing for DraftKings. Taking a look at the game log in 2 games this year, he had 4 catches in both of them, just under 100 yards rushing, had a rushing touchdown in each of the 2 games. So, you got to have it. Granted, they haven't played anybody yet, but guess what? Maryland's nobody special themselves. Lock and load small. All the sharp people out there in the world are on this guy this week, so don't miss out on him. You're going to be missing out on a lot of production for a very small price.
Exactly, especially with that price, like you said. We're not paying up.
What's he on FanDuel?
Early slate or late slate?
Early slate.
Early slate. Where are the crickets?
I know, this is enthralling television right now.
And of course it's lagging.
Can't find him? All
right,
we'll
get back to it.
All right, that's the guy that you need to have. If we're talking about must-have players, I guess we'll go with Jordan Howard, 8,400 at Wake Forest this week. One of the best running backs in all of college football. Howard's a guy that, he's just been putting up points like crazy this year. We take a look at the game log. 145 his first game, 159 the second, 203 last week against Western Kentucky. Not that much of a pass catching threat, but he can definitely do it. 3 catches for 38 last week. What's great about Howard is he's all about the whole numbers, right? So week 1, he had 40 exactly. Week 2, 20. Week 3, 30. So, he's definitely on pace he's on pace for 10, but we're not going to see that this week. Look for him to have a huge week. I'd say probably more in the range of 30 and 40 this week.
Calling it.
You're calling it.
He's on the roll.
He actually is the top rusher in the nation this year.
So 30 to 40 points.
Yeah, gotta have it. Gotta have it from Howard. And listen, this is Wake Forest. Nobody's special.
Yeah, Wake Forest, solid team. He's gonna do it.
Yeah, solid team if they're playing.
If they're playing Bowling Green,
St. Joe's for the blind. They're dope. They're dope. They're dope.
I got a wild card sleeper play for you.
All right.
I'm not sure if it's because of his name or I like the guy.
Okay.
Stanley Boom Williams.
Stanley Boom Williams. Who is this guy?
This guy plays for Kentucky.
All right.
He is the running back. He splits carries, but he's had 16 carries against Florida for 80 yards and 14 carries against South Carolina for 170 yards. So this guy can explode off the backfield. 6,000 on FanDuel, very affordable. Could be a nice flex option on DraftKings.
Okay.
Gonna at home against Missouri. I'm pretty sure I said that already, but just reminding you, at home, always a bonus for SEC teams. I like him.
All right.
Great price, nice value. Can't go wrong, especially with a middle name called Boom.
Boom! Here comes the boom. Nah, yeah. If we're gonna be talking about other running backs, two locks that I have for late: Nick Wilson, 7,500 against UCLA, and also Devontae Booker in the same game, 8,800 against UCLA. UCLA, or I'm sorry, no. What am I talking about?
Oregon.
Yeah, sorry, Devontae Booker against Oregon. I wrote that down wrong. Devontae Booker going against Oregon. That's a great matchup. Oregon's defense has not looked good at all this season. Booker guy catching passes left and right. Now keep in mind this is the late slate only, so if you're looking for him on your early slate, you're not going to see him. Nick Wilson, same thing for the late slate only. UCLA, listen, they got a lot of injuries there on defense, so not as vaunted as they once were this season. Definitely going to be a huge game out there for the Bearcats in Arizona. A little national TV game for the people, so that's going to be pretty fun. Other guys
I
in
love
the
Nick
wild,
Wilson.
other guys in the wild card. Nick Wilson is a beast. He is amazing.
I love Nick Wilson. He is listed at 8,200 on FanDuel, which makes me just love him even more.
Is it salivation time?
Yes. I don't know if it was a cheesecake or what, but love this guy this week.
A couple of the wild cards. Kelvin Taylor, 5,300 for Florida. This guy is a true a-hole, right? Like, he's not that well liked, but kid's got talent. In a rivalry game against Tennessee, it's going to be a slug out. So, I don't know. Start running back carries, 5,300. I'm willing to take a chance. Also, the running back situation for Wisconsin. The starter there, he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. So, that means it's time for the scrubs to get their ass in there. Dare Ogunbowale, my favorite name in all.
Oh my guy. I love him.
All of college football.
This week.
4,700. Also, Taiwan Deal at 5,300. They're both playing Hawaii. I'm probably more apt to go with Ogunbowale because he gets some reception. So, there's a better spot for him. And also, Justin Jackson, Northwestern, 6,700. They're going up against Ball State. Northwestern was involved in a little bit of a defensive struggle last week against Duke. Not going to happen this week against Ball State. Justin Jackson, look to him to have a big one.
I have a trivia question for you.
Okay. I love prizes.
Who is Kelvin Taylor's father?
Fred Taylor.
That was too easy, wasn't
Do
it?
you know why I know that? Is because I heard it a couple weeks ago during the game.
They had Dan Lepetard. Dan Lepetard had an interview with Fred Taylor about that situation with Kelvin and the coach yelling at him. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Dan Lepetard is not scared to ask questions.
No, not at all. And I know that whole situation that you're talking about. It was ridiculous. All he did, like I forget, they were playing Eastern Carolina. So he scores a touchdown and he just does like something real simple. Like,
Yeah.
Like, he didn't, draw out the throats, he just went that was it, and then, some butthurt ref threw the flag, and then, the coach just got in his face and got in his ass, But that's the thing, Kelvin Taylor apparently has been having a lot of issues there with Florida. They don't really like him that much, so, interesting to see what comes of that situation. But against Tennessee. Look, Tennessee's a very good defense, and I don't necessarily know that this is the best matchup. I think we're definitely going to find a lot more value. But
Yes.
if you like going against me, which a lot of people do, then fuck it, go with it.
Exactly. This kid's a stud. I can see him transferring at the end of the year and having a huge year next year. I'm
He is,
calling it.
he is very good. He is good. He is uber talented, And now listen, it's not to say that I don't like the guy. I'm just reading articles. You know what I mean? Like he could be just a very misunderstood guy. So who knows?
Definitely. Kind of like Johnny Football, your guy, right?
Hey, look, I love that guy. I would adopt him if I could. It would be weird. It would be really weird if a guy that made just under 50 grand a year adopted a guy that made like 6 million, and was like 24. Like, I don't know.
Hey, as long as he accepts, right?
Hey Johnny, I got bunk beds. Weird. Anywho, any
What a great transition to the wide receivers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have any more wide receiver running backs? But I guess not. Start us off at wide receiver. Who's a lock?
In the early slate, I hate naming the obvious, but I guess they call me Captain Obvious for a reason. Corey Coleman. This guy is an animal from Baylor. Do you know this guy? He's going to be playing against Rice.
I sure do know this guy.
Rice is awful.
Yeah,
This guy has, in his first game, my bad. He had 178 yards last game with a TD. This guy's going to go on.
Now, as part of my lock, I actually had the entire Baylor receiving core.
Okay, so
I had
touch up on that.
Yes, I had Corey Coleman, KD Cannon, all right, so on DraftKings, Corey Coleman, 8,500, KD Cannon at 6,300, and Jay Lee at $6,000. You can't go wrong with any of these guys.
You can't.
I would say, money wise, I guess if you want to go with Cannon or Lee, that's probably the smarter money play of the two. But again, I'm not gonna say don't play Corey Coleman. I mean, the guy's amazing. He's the Megatron of college.
Definitely, I agree. I love the comparison.
I just laugh when defenders go up against them and they're like, no, sorry, we're not gonna have that. Sorry. I mean, hell, do you want to pair up, Dreyfus Jackson? I gotta get that guy's name. Dreyfus or Dreyfus, whatever. Al, I mean, look, if you get Dreyfus Jackson in your lineup, you can probably afford Corey Coleman,
Hey,
what would
giving the audience a lot of ideas.
You know what I think would be kind of great if you went Boykin at, well, now we're talking DraftKings, but if you want to go Boykin at 10,300 and then Dreyfus there in the mid 5,000s, why not, right? Because I'm sure Boykin will probably double his total, all right, let's say you get just two, whoever your two quarterbacks are, mid-range quarterbacks, right? I could see Boykin topping them both.
Really?
Going against Texas Tech, why not?
Against two mid-price quarterbacks.
Right? Like Boykin, it's not, it's not stupid to think that Boykin can go for 50 in this game.
I say a little under that. A little under two average quarterbacks. Just a little bit.
All right. But that's what I'm saying. So if you want to go with two, maybe an 8,000 and a 7,000 quarterback, why not just go Boykin and then Dreyfus,
Okay. I like where you're headed.
I'm going to be looking out for Dreyfus all year.
Dreyfus. I love that name.
Yeah, I know. I can't stop saying it. I'm going to be sleeping tonight and be like, Dreyfus.
Next show, you're going to have a shirt.
I'm going to have Dreyfus tattooed on my forehead.
With the rainbow.
Hey, by the way, what did you Dreyfus with the rainbow background? What did you Odell Beckham with an amazing touchdown catch right now.
I don't even have the game on.
What did you eat at Cheesecake Factory tonight? We didn't even ask.
The cheesecake I ate was an apple pie kind of thing.
Oh, nice. No, but I mean, like, what was your dinner?
Oh, it was grilled chicken with some pasta thing.
Now, what you got to get, I should have told you this next time. They have a thing called New Orleans chicken pasta, and it's amazing. It's like, and it's not grilled chicken, it's breaded chicken, but it's with bow tie noodles. And, it's like, it's like a Cajun type deal. They got peppers and onions in there in the mix. It's amazing. I should have told you, but I'm sorry. It's my own fault. It's my own fault. He's like, you should have.
That sounds good.
It's the best dish of any restaurant anywhere ever.
It was that sounds good, but the one I had was like grilled chicken with mozzarella cheese.
Oh, that sounds good.
And then Red Bull, I think it was rotelli pasta, so it was good.
All right.
But I want the New Orleans.
Yeah, it's really good. It's my favorite dish of any restaurant whatsoever. That's why my face gets like.
I see you saliva dripping there.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, drooling thinking about it.
Drooling. Sorry.
Little Drewski. All right. Any? Oh, let me get to a wide receiver lock while we're at it, because I don't want to forget about this guy.
All right, and then I got another one, so let's just keep it going.
All right. If I told you Daniel Braverman, okay? Daniel Braverman is a little wide receiver from the University of Western Michigan University.
I love that guy.
If I asked you how many catches you think he had this season, what would you say?
If I did not know the guy and it's only been 3 games,
Right.
I would say 12.
12? You'd be off by 28 because he's got 40 catches for 398 yards and 3 touchdowns on the young season.
And what's his price on DraftKings? That's something I read.
7,100.
He is 6,000 on FanDuel. That is ridiculously low.
Yeah. You need to get him. Like, it doesn't even make sense not to.
I don't care if he's playing Ohio State.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. This actually works in his favor because they're going to be getting their ass kicked on Saturday. So it's just going to be a throw fest. And little Braverman, a.k.a. Edelman Jr., is just going to be getting force-fed the ball here. Now, I would say FanDuel, load him up. Like, that is a no-brainer. DraftKings, where you get a whole point for reception, he's a little more valuable. Now, does Ohio State do they do something to counteract him? I can see that, yes. But, for 7,000 essentially, I mean, why not? I mean, take a look, like on DK, 26.9, 34.2, 45.7 last week. I mean, granted, the last 2 weeks at Georgia State, at Murray State. Now, okay, fine. But even against Michigan State, who's the number 2 team in the nation, 13 catches for $109. 26.9. I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Can I call an upset? Ohio State loses?
I don't know, man. They've had so much turmoil there this week. I would say that they don't lose.
I'm gonna call it whatever. I'm wrong, but if I am right, you heard it here first, guys.
Then I'm getting 2 rainbow tattoos.
Yes, that's a deal. If Ohio State loses, you get a rainbow tattoo
and
on
Leonard
your forehead.
And Leonard Fournette doesn't score a touchdown.
And you gotta shave the beard.
No. That's not on the table. I look like a fat baby without a beard. All right. Now that that's settled. But yeah, I love Braverman. I don't know. I like him, but going against Ohio State, we don't know. I do feel like a lot of people will be on him, so I don't know. Maybe I don't like him as much as I say.
All right, I got another guy for you. This is a little stack I'm working on.
All right.
Braverman and Tajay Sharp.
Ooh, okay.
In 2 games, can you guess how many catches he's had?
26.
22.
All right.
11 catches in each game.
Nice.
Each for at least 135 yards.
And UMass is playing a pretty decent team this week, are they not?
UMass is playing against Notre Dame.
That's right.
So they're going to be playing from behind, throwing the ball. Tajay Sharp is gonna have himself a day.
I'm laughing. They're playing a pretty decent team, right? Yeah, only like, the number
Or
8.
even like the number 16.
Yeah. This game isn't even on DraftKings.
Really.
Yeah.
Hear this out. If I was an NFL GM,
Okay.
I would draft Braverman and Sharp.
Yeah.
I don't care what school they play for. They are talented.
I'm sure that these guys are going to be. I'm sure that they're being targeted already. It's just, they're not going to be high picks, which is fine.
I feel like New England's gonna pick them up,
Oh yeah,
and they're gonna. Nobody's ever heard of these guys but us,
New
and they're
England.
gonna have baby Edelmans all over the field.
I was just going to say, New England's probably already making up rape stories about these guys so that they drop to like the 7th round, and then they just pick them both up. Hey, speaking of like late round receivers, Jamison Crowder today, the guy who starred for Duke last year, he's had some pretty big catches in this game against the Giants tonight. So dreams do come true.
Definitely, and I heard Jones is having himself a day.
That I cannot confirm. I don't think he's having like a great day or anything like that, but little something.
I've heard he's had some nice plays.
He's all right. I sat him in my season long today, so I got very lucky and picked him up on the waiver wire, so that's pretty cool.
Definitely.
All right, wide receivers. If we're talking about a lock, I'm going to talk about late slate. Juju Smith-Schuster had an unbelievable game last week. He actually last week in the late slate, I came in 68th of about 4,000 people. So Smith-Schuster was the guy that helped me get there. Last week against Stanford, 8 catches, $153 and a touchdown. This is a guy that's been doing incredibly well all year. Game 1 against Arkansas State, 4 catches, 89 yards, a touchdown. Didn't hit the 100-yard mark, but the following week against Idaho, 10 catches, $192, 2 touchdowns. Look, this guy's probably going to be a first-round draft pick when he comes out of college. We all know the stature of this guy. Going up against Arizona State, this is going to be a high-flying game all over the place. Expect Smith-Schuster to have a ton of volume in this one. I can't say anything more about the guy. And he's only 7,500. Like, that's nothing. That's nothing. Grab the guy, pick him up, lock and load the guy.
Dirt cheap right there.
For sure.
I'm going to go to – we can keep talking about locks all day. Okay. I'm just going to go with a quick sleeper here.
All right.
In the late slate. J.D. McKissick.
Oh.
This guy plays for Arkansas State Red Wolves.
All right.
This guy had a nice game last week. 8 receptions, 82 yards. Also had 4 carries. So, this guy is definitely involved in the offense. They're going to be playing against Tulane, I believe. I just lost him. No, Toledo. Sorry. So, it's going to be a close game. I can see them throwing the ball a lot. JD being involved in the offense.
Huh?
I like this as a sleeper.
I'm with it. I don't know much about the guy, but, if you say so.
Hey, it's always those small schools that get you on FanDuel and DraftKings.
Very true. I mean, when Braverman was just a twinkle in the eye of the fantasy landscape, we were rocking out with him. And
exactly.
We've been on Braverman since week 1, people. All right, so don't even go there with me. If we're talking about sleepers, now here's the deal. Guy's not a sleeper, okay? He had 1 bad week, but I know that a lot of people, they get butthurt in fantasy sports, Like, I do it all the time, Like with what happened with Chris Bryant in baseball. Didn't perform for me. That's all right. Last week, I had Devin Lauderdale out of Texas Tech, 4,700 this week. But guy had no catches. He didn't do anything last week. He actually did have a catch, but it got called back for a penalty.
Oh, man.
I had him on the late slate. He put up a fat donut for me, and I still cashed pretty high. So imagine if he did do anything.
Imagine. That's the key word. Sorry, buddy.
Imagine. But, yeah, so We got to go back to the well, especially in a game where Texas Tech is supposed to have around 40 points. Look, he's the number 2 receiver on this team. He's going to see a high volume. You lock him up with Mahomes. That might be one of the top, quarterback receiver combos of the day. I'm actually looking at 2 touchdowns from him since he got slighted last week.
You're calling it 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's right. Done. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Hey, I love it. If you're confident in that means I got to get him in my lineup.
For sure.
Another guy I'm looking at, Kenny Lawler from California Golden Bears. 22 points last week, 6 receptions, 79 yards, 2 TDs. Only at 6,300. This is going to be a great game. I expect Kenny Lawler to go off. He's going to be playing against Washington, so you know it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I do like that. Jared Goff, quarterback there. They had a great rapport last week going up against Texas. Texas blows, so whatever. Still had a great day. I forgot to talk about the quarterback from that game. It was actually supposed to be a sleeper quarterback of mine. But for Washington, if you need a sleeper quarterback, look none other than I lost his name.
Drum roll.
No, I got it now. Thank you. Jake Browning out of Washington. $7,000 on DraftKings. Now I know that we're talking about the wide receivers now, but this again has more to do with who Washington is playing. Cal's defense is god awful. Browning's hit for over 300 in his last 2 games. 23, 28 on DraftKings the last 2 weeks. So definitely take a look at that guy. For $7,000, not too bad, not too shabby.
Why not? That's a good price, especially on that.
If you want a little upgrade from Driftus, then there you go. Driftus, Nick is losing it. Oh no! All right, so Nick lost the connection. That's okay. That's fine. We can end the show here. Definitely want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. We had a great output last week. Not so much this week, but that's okay. We'll get the views up between today and tomorrow. I understand great NFL game on this week, so we can do that. I'm just looking at Nick's face down the bottom of the screen. He's got his hands stuck right here. Also, check out for us Sunday morning. We will be on 10 a.m. Doing the NFL extravaganza for everybody. So don't miss that. We are the Big 3 DFS show. Follow us on Twitter at the Big 3 DFS. You can find me right there on Twitter down there at the bottom at 14a.walsh. All questions, anything you need, direct message me, tweet me out there on the wall. Do whatever you got to do. Get in touch with me. I got you. I got all the stats. I got it, baby. All right. We will see you Sunday morning for NFL. Take it easy.